What's up, guys? That got the pencil here, back for another edition of 3-Minute Thursdays, and we are here to discuss some more manga. You know what we're here for. You know exactly what we're here for. So we'll hop right on into it. Let's talk with the feature manga. Let's talk and start with the feature manga this week, which is Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. I said it right on the first time. I feel legendary right now. Okay, so this chapter, once again, fire. I don't know how else to say it. Like, Magic and Muscles, I think it's definitely sneaking up. And this is me not having read the first, 20 chapters. So you already know it has to be good if I'm, giving it the hype like this. And I haven't even, really understood the manga itself yet. So I'm already deep into it. And the main character, here's the thing. The main character is also busted. And I made a video literally yesterday talking about, a busted main character doing weird stuff. But at least, this is explained, and the way it's explained is always interesting to me. What's his name? I don't even, that's, you know how bad it is? I don't even know the main character's name. Is it Mashle? Is it Mashle? I literally don't know. I'm just gonna call him Rabbit. No, I'm gonna call him the Hunter. The Hunter right here, when he was pulled out and he was about to be turned into a puppet, and he was completely turned into a puppet. What happened was he literally has trained himself to such a degree that if something happens to him, he reacts without thinking. And since, as the guy explains, since only the exterior is turned into a puppet, not the insides, all the nerve endings, all the stuff like that, all the reflexes that a person has are still native to them. And when it kicked in and he just uppercutted the soul out of this man when he snatched his cream puff, I was just like, whoa, that's some next level stuff right there. And then the villain's like, Lord Abel, I think that's his name, Lord Abel came in and was just like, hey, yo, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. I didn't think I was gonna need to do this, but do it, I must. And he literally just said, here, my ultimate attack, bah, smacked him in the face with it. And what did the main character do? He was just like, that's crazy. But you know what's even crazier? I cut my own strength. And then he literally pile drived him into the ground. That's some quality, that's some next level stuff right there. I haven't seen a pile driver that good since Dragon Ball Deliverance, because I haven't actually seen that many pile drivers that's recent. But still, fantastic, great manga so far. And like I said, I still need to catch up on it. I'm probably gonna see if I can do that this weekend. I want to catch up because this seems like a really interesting manga, and I want to learn more about it. Easy 9 out of 10 chapter. It'd probably be a 10 out of 10 if I understood the plot and actually knew what was going on fully. So yeah, definitely go read it. It's fantastic. Now moving on to the next manga this week, we have to tackle My Hero Academia. So as y'all know, I'm quite the vocal critic of My Hero Academia, and if you think this is but don't worry, this week I'm not going to be a critic. Oh no, I'm even more of a vocal critic. Quirks are the stupidest thing that I have ever, no, not the stupidest thing. They aren't, how do I put this? I just don't get it. You had such a nice, you had a solid basis that you could build on. You can build on almost any power system if you make it free enough. But by establishing quirks as you did in this specific way, Horikoshi, every time you do something like this, you have this weird alternate spirit quirk dimension. It seems like some magical stuff, even though you try to base it inside. That's the issue. If quirks were just this thing that's not understand, if there was no science in this world at all, then it'd be like, you know what, fine, I'll look the other way. But no, you've tried to base it in science, and I just don't get it. 1 for all users showed up. Midoriya can't move in this dimension because I'm assuming he's still alive, but Shigaraki can move in this dimension despite him also, but then Midoriya can move. It's just weird. It's just whack. Horikoshi, you need do I really, because here's the thing, I'm not Horikoshi, so I'm not writing the manga, so I don't know what plans he has, but I'm kind of shook. I don't really know where you plan to go with this, what you plan to do with it, but hopefully it turns out good. Maybe I'm just being hypocritical of something that's in development. Not hypocritical, critical of something that's in development. So do whatever you wish, Horikoshi. I don't really mind. That's perfectly fine. You do you. However, I think you need to figure out what you're doing very, very quickly because it's not making much sense. And for the line of this chapter that I've seen everyone going crazy on, if heroes are supposed to save people, then was Jin not considered a person? Here's the thing. If this was coming from anyone, except for the crazy blood drinking serial killer, I'd be like, you know what? You kind of got a point. This is coming from Toga, so I don't respect it. That's basically it for when it comes to that. Other than that, I mean, it's like a 6 out of 10 chapter. That's the thing. The art's still fantastic. It's always great seeing more of the past of the My Hero world. In my opinion, the past is the most interesting part of My Hero Academia. I really couldn't care about the present. So any parts of it, even if it's coming through weird quirk nonsense, I'm fine with. It's just interesting to see. 6 out of 10 chapter. Let's move on to Undead Unluck. Now, Undead Unluck is an interesting spot because I thought it was going to be canceled, but maybe it's not going to be canceled, but maybe it is going to be canceled. I don't know. I feel like we're in endgame territory, but at the same time we're like still in Infinity War. Like we're setting stuff up. I don't know, because Billy has gone off to form his own union or whatever he wants to call it, and then you have the union itself, which is still here, and Juiz or Injustice basically is just like, oh yeah, this world is on loop and it's constantly being destroyed and recreated, and they basically she's basically assembled the strongest negators she can find in order to stop the loop. Now, two things. One, she looks like Edelgard. This is maybe me playing too much Fire Emblem, and I don't remember exactly when this series came out, but I'm pretty sure it's not even a year old yet, so I'm not sure if that has to be coincidence, because there's no way that, like, as I drew the panel that I drew from this chapter, I'm just like, I'm drawing Edelgard, just like in a slightly different art style. That's all I could think of. And two, the actual major thing I want to talk about is the interesting thing about this world being on loop is that how come she's the only one that remembers? Because unless her sub ability is like staying alive through the destruction of creation, or she's the one that caused the loop to start in the first place, and this is her punishment or something like that, I don't get how she remembers. I can get how Undead remembers. I can get how Andy remembers because, well, he's unkillable from every single aspect, but I don't necessarily fully understand her. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't get how she knows, but that's perfectly fine. I'm very intrigued to see where this is going, because this is an interesting combination, because Unfeel, Unstoppable, Undead, Unluck, Untouchable. I'm not even sure what is yours. I don't know what the Doctor's is, and I forget what his. That's the thing. Unmove. All these interesting things. I'm wondering how this is the combination, and I honestly can't see where this is going in a positive way. Like, I'm intrigued to see where the series could possibly head from this point onward. That's my thing. I think it's pretty good. I think it's like a solid 7 to 8 out of 10. Not much happens, but it reveals a lot of important things, and it also gives me more flashbacks to Victor, like the alternate personality of Andy, and also just really cool paneling. Like, I can't draw it, but darn, is that some fantastic paneling. Great work. 8 out of 10 chapter. Let's move on to the next one, and the next one we've got to address is Phantom Seer. Like I said, a shockingly good manga, moving at a really, really healthy pace, and we're finally seeing the sister in action. We're finally seeing Miss Yayoi in action, Yayori's older sister, and it's impressive because, like, she literally erases things from existence, and, like, you know me, existence erasure is always just a cool ability to have. Like, that's some low-level reality warping. I'll take whatever I can get. But honestly, that's really it. That's the main thing that happens in this chapter. It's just more of Ibetsu sensing things that no one else can sense, and then, like, the spirits wake up, and then Miss Yayoi just destroys them. It's one of the most impressive things. Only thing I'm worried about, I feel like Ibetsu, one of two things. She has powers to discuss, but, like, in terms of the sister, I'm wondering what she's talking about when she says, I understand that you want to welcome Riku, but it's not the right time yet. I don't know. Is she going to sacrifice it to them? Like, I don't think so, but that would be interesting. That would be a good setup if that's the case. Honestly, very intrigued to see where this is going. Can't wait to see it. I'd say a solid 7 out of 10 chapter. Actually, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 just because we're seeing more of the world in terms of its top tiers, or at least the top tiers that we know of so far. And every time I see that, it's quality. It's quality. For Dr. Stone, let's hop right into it. Now, Dr. Stone, interesting chapter this week. Big shout outs to Nikki. Honestly, I wasn't really expecting her to be the intermediate, like, one of the temporary presidents, like when she's on the phone with Brody and they're like arguing with each other, and then she just literally just overpowers him to the point where they're like, yeah, fine, we'll make this Corn City, we'll do what you want, sure, whatever. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And then one of my favorite things about this chapter is how Stanley is so livid, like he's so shook that he failed to kill Senku. And I know this is, I'm not sure, that has to be like just drawing symbolism, but on page 8-9, where he literally has the cigarette in his mouth and then he sees Senku's ship coming down the water, it lights fully on fire, and he literally goes to instantly execute him. I was just like, whoa. Oh, so we in a good spot right now. We in a great condition right now. Really intrigued to see where this is going, because honestly, I low-key thought we were in like Dr. Stone Endgame, but it looks like we're nowhere near, because they're still very, very adamant about traveling around the world. And now they have Stanley hunting them down, because now not only are they traveling around the world, but they have Dr. Zeno hostage this entire time. And like Dr. Zeno himself gets very little like panel time at all throughout this entire chapter. It's just at like the second to last page where you see part of his eye as he's looking over. And I'm very intrigued to see where this is going, because now they're heading straight to South America where the petrification wave started, and that's a whole interesting new arc, because if Senku and Dr. Zeno revived, who else revived purely by accident, especially in South America where it all began. I feel like we're in a real interesting spot. Can't wait to see where it goes. It's going to be really, really interesting. Solid, honestly, with how much, once again, the chapters are just like, Dr. Stone chapters are filled with so much good character content and also story content, and that's very hard to do. When you're a writer, it's very hard to combine those two. You typically want to section off a chapter for each, but Dr. Stone did good to give Nikki more character, did good to give Brody more character, and it just characterizes an interesting rivalry, not between Dr. Zeno and Senku only, but Stanley and Senku. That's some next level stuff. I really, really like it, and I love how they say goodbye at the end. Like, this is, because they aren't going to see each other for a while. They both have their own independent goals, and it's quality all around. Can't wait for more of Dr. Stone, as always. Now, for Mori King, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure, unless this, like, I forget what type of beetle he is, unless this different beetle has some super secret ability that is gonna stop 4 king candidates, I don't know. I don't think he's winning. Like, he's at the end of the chapter, he's like, what a quaint technique. The memories. Hurry now, face me, Mori King. I'm just like, it's not just gonna be Mori King, bro. You're getting jumped. Like, you are getting jumped by 4 separate people. And if Mori King wants to fight you alone, then even if he like comes close to losing, you're getting jumped after that. And I don't think you're handling all that. But honestly, once again, just interesting spot. Didn't really expect Mori King to go down this route, but now that it is going down this route, I'm very intrigued. I'm rather excited. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a great time, and I hope, honestly, let me see, what would I rate this chapter? Because once again, this is good character stuff and like good plot development, because there's no hesitation. They're hopping right into like what seems like final art territory. So I'd say, I mean, there's not much action in this chapter. And this is a weird drawing. So I'll say like an 8 out of 10 again. An 8 out of 10. It's like a lot of this week's chapters were very much intermediary, but they all revealed something meaty about the world, or like something meaty is about to happen in these upcoming chapters. And I respect that a lot. So a solid 8 out of 10. Moving on to the... Wow, I have a couple more manga to review. Moving on to Our Blood Oath. I mean, it's cool to know that the best friend's sister has been kidnapped and she's being held hostage by vampires, and gives him a lot more human character. I thought he was just evil. I'll be real. I thought he was evil off rip. I didn't really give him a chance or any benefit of the doubt. But now that the older brother and him are going to go get the younger brother and the younger sister back, that's really cool. Can't wait to see that's going. And I also want to see the fight between the younger brother and the vampire a bit more, because the vampire that the younger brother is fighting is like, oh, you summoning weapons? That's child's play. I'm just like, ooh. And what isn't child's play for vampires? Because every time you get like a world with a similar mythos, like I've talked about how we have a lot of spirits going on in manga right now. Well, blood vampires too, they're just a commonly used idea. So I'm willing to see where it's ready and willing to go. Because if it goes in an interesting direction, which I think it will. I think the manga is just starting off at a slower pace. I think we'll be in a very interesting spot. Can't wait to see. Probably actually a solid 7 out of 10. Not much interesting character stuff happens, but enough character stuff happens that I'm willing to see where it's ready to go. Ikashi Triangle. This manga's weird. I'm still read it because I'm intrigued with mainly Shirogane and like how they're gonna redeem him, or how basically how it's gonna all come undone, because we're in an interesting spot. It's nice hearing about like the background of new characters. Like the whole reason Matsuri is like even good friends with this new girl is because like he's the first client of hers that ever actually trusted her, and all of her stuff worked really well for him. So it's mainly just a working business relationship. That's really cool to have. I like it, and I feel like we're gonna get more into Ayakashi Medium's Triangle. Ayakashi Medium's Triangles. Yes, I said that. Ayakashi Medium's powers, and that's an interesting topic. I want to see where that goes, because powers of special individuals in a world typically interesting, typically diverse, and I want to see where else they could take it. And then the final chapter we have to review this week is Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin. This is a very much like a side story. It was very much a contained in of itself sort of story, where it was literally just a sea cucumber, or uminian. I can't say it, but basically it was just Choco making a friend, and that friend passing away by helping Choco out one more time in the end. And it's very nice. It's very sweet, self-contained little story, and I love how serious everyone is. It's weird because like, you know, the little guy is drawn not very serious, but everything else is really nice. It's a sweet little side story, and I think it's just an intermediate chapter between like a new arc, and I can't wait to see what that new arc to be, because I still think Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin is like my second favorite manga coming out week by week in this current timeline for some reason. Why? I have no idea, but it's fantastic. Other than that, it was a very solid week. Very much an intermediary. Like, you can tell a lot of these manga are either building up towards the climax of their main arc, or they're in between main arcs, and that's fine. I'm always just patiently waiting for new arc material, or like hefty arc material, but regardless, I can wait. I'm still gonna be reading. I recommend you go read all the manga that came out this week. There's nothing that I'm saying I'm about to drop, and honestly, I don't think any of them are getting canceled very soon. So I recommend reading them while they're still out there, still fresh, and that's all I have to say. Thank you guys. Oh, one more thing. Discord down below in the description, and I'll put it in the pinned comment too. Hop in the Discord. We're gonna have some fun. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.